Today we are continuing our AirVenture track, where we left off in Minnesota, where we explored Mystery Cave State Park. We've hopped back in the plane and we are headed to Iowa to visit family, and then we're continuing on to Wisconsin to get ready for the AirVenture Cup Race.
Fillmore County traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike, taking active runway 29, and we'll be departing to the southwest, Fillmore County.
Bye.
Bye. Love you very much. Tap the brakes. Gear coming up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
I was worried about that takeoff because it's so hot.
No, it's good. We're not gonna use flight following for a short flight.
Okay. So keep an eye out.
Alright, we were direct to Boone. Just gonna keep it at 4,500 today. Welcome to Iowa.
I'm glad it's a short flight if it's gonna be bumping this whole way.
Okay, so second flight of the day here today, on our way to Boone, Iowa. It's just north of Des Moines. Kelly's got family there. We usually don't fly below the clouds, and we generally don't fly in the afternoon, just because it's turbulent. But it's we got 37 minutes left. It's not a long flight, 45 minutes or so, so we're gonna hop in and rattle the family here for 37 more minutes to get down into the area of Iowa we need to go. I'm going to continue just kind of holding my line and keeping it at 4,500 and dealing with bumps as we go. But we're going to get bumped around a little bit today. We wouldn't be willing to do this for hours, but for 45 minutes and for a chance to see family for the evening, it's worthwhile. If we hit a bump that's large enough, you will see Kelly put her hand straight up. That's her move. She does. It's like she's being held up in an old Western. You do enough of rides with bumps on them and you will train your family not to fly with you. So I make an effort to keep all the rattly stuff to myself when I go out and I do my training, and then I try to make the flights as pleasant as possible, usually when I'm flying with family, so that they continue doing stuff like this with me.
I will get up as early as possible to get out in the morning time.
Yeah, today's flight, super nice. We were at 11,500. We were above the clouds.
It was good until we started descending.
Yep, everything's fine. You get above the clouds, everything's fine.
I probably threw my hands up once or twice on that one too. I'm sure we got it.
We did want to stop in Minnesota and do something there since we were passing over. You know, a good chance to add a state to the list.
And we needed gas.
We needed gas. We wanted some food. We wanted to do something that was something cultural or educational in Minnesota to make sure the state counts in our books. So we found the Mystery Cave and Forestville area of southern Minnesota and made that our day stop. We took a picnic lunch, went down, bought some tickets, and went spelunking for an hour.
Is it really spelunking if we're not wearing a helmet and knee pads?
No, it's not. We went with the tour guide that the Minnesota Department of DNR provided. We had a good time. Yes, the long and short of it, we got Minnesota sticker on the side of the plane. We are all fueled up. We're headed to Iowa, and we're going to stop in Iowa for today with a plan to head up to Wausau for the AirVenture Cup tomorrow.
Yep, but, in the morning.
Yep.
Not in the afternoon.
In the morning, before all the bumps and weather starts. Man, the purple line looks so much better when it's being followed by the autopilot. Flying a GPS fix, just like flying a VOR. Keep the purple line in the middle. Maintain the heading, keep your altitude. If you just noticed that little chime, that means I just went up with an updraft 200 feet. That's embarrassing. Alright, let's get back down to 4,500. It's been a long time since I had to fly a purple line all by myself without using the autopilot. It's good practice. Hey, look at all the windmills out your window, Jack.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've been doing.
Descend in 8 minutes. You're almost there. How you doing?
Not as bad as it started out as, but I'm just waiting for a big...
It's raining there now. The weather is worse than forecast. See all the storms where we came from? And we got a couple popping up where we're going. That's fine. It's all yellow. But that's quite a bit of red speckled stuff all over.
Yeah. Much longer, we would have not had as much fun.
Well, I told you, that's why I said 3 o'clock's our go time.
Left, right downwind 33, Boone.
All right, that's what I need to know right there. Right downwind 33 is what they're using. Boone traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike is 10 miles to the northeast, inbound for runway 33. I'll enter 45 to right downwind, runway 33 Boone. Boone traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike is 5 miles to the northeast, inbound for full stop, runway 33. We're going to enter midfield 45 to downwind, right 33 Boone. All right, fuel pumps on. Gear coming down. 3 green, 1 in the beer, mixtures, props, and landing light on. Boone traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike is midfield, turning for right downwind, runway 33 Boone. Boone traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike is making right base, runway 33 Boone.
Aztec and Boone, you're aware we have a shortened runway 33?
Land just beyond the threshold, confirm, forward Mike.
Well, you're going to see the white new concrete. You got to land beyond that.
Affirmative, we're aware of that. Forward Mike. Concrete looks nice.
I can't wait to try it out.
Boone traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike on final runway 33 Boone.
Good job, AJ.
After we landed, we noticed that one of our tires was a little worse for wear, so we spent the evening hunting down a new tire and spending time with family. The wonderful staff at Farnham Aviation replaced our tire, and we are now back in the plane and headed to the AirVenture Cup in Wisconsin.
All right, so today we've got 2,500 feet available for our takeoff, so we're going to be doing a short field takeoff. This Aztec's equipped with a STOL package, and the shortest possible takeoff should occur in 700 to 800 feet today, and with 25 degrees of flaps. So I've gone ahead and added in the flaps, and we're going to see how we do with our short field takeoff. If we are not off the field in 1,250 feet just beyond the 1,000-foot markers, then we are going to abort, and we have a 1,650-foot accelerate stop distance, which should leave us plenty of buffer here. Boone traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike is taking active runway 15 for departure. We'll continue outbound to the north. Boone, get maximum available runway here.
I'll hit those lights.
All right, 1,000-foot markers are the first point at which we're going to make a decision.
Love you guys.
Bye. Alright, fuel flows are good, gauge is green, pressures are good, airspeed's alive, timer's 3, our rotation speed with flaps is 57, 57 now, 1,000-foot markers, get off the runway. Gear coming up. Flaps up. And we're off.
Good job, AJ.
Was that a short?
Yep. We were off right where we should be. Plane did what it was supposed to do.
Good job, Leroy.
Now we go to blue line and we climb. Boone traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike, just off runway 15, currently 3 miles to the south. We're going to make a wide left turn and leave the area to the north. Boone. Point approach, Aztec 2441 Mike with request.
Aztec 2441 Mike, point approach.
Point Aztec 2441 Mike is looking for VFR flight following. We are a PA-27 Aztec, currently 10 miles to the northeast of Bravo November Whiskey. Direct Alpha Uniform Whiskey, currently 5,500, climbing 1,500.
Aztec 2441 Mike, squawk 2612.
2612, forward Mike.
Aztec 41 Mike, radar contact, wind altimeter 3000.
3000, 41 Mike. All right, an eventful 24 hours we've had.
For sure.
So if you're just checking in on this video, we were in North Dakota.
Oh, are we in North Dakota?
We were in North Dakota yesterday morning.
We're in Iowa right now.
And we made the flight to southeastern Minnesota. Went to the Mystery Caves and Forestville State Park in southeastern Minnesota. We jumped back in the plane after the Mystery Cave and flew to Iowa, where we met with Kelly's aunt and uncle who live just north of Des Moines. We had a very nice dinner.
Very good restaurant they chose.
Yeah.
Descent down to 7,500.
What was it called? Cornbread?
Cornbread barbecue in Ames, Iowa.
On top of that, we had a kicker of an incident when we were landing in Boone. Boone's got NOTAMs that a portion of their runway 33 is closed for construction, and it left 2,500 feet remaining, which is a relatively short field, something we've done before in our Cedar Key video. And, you know, in that video, that ends with water. So we know the Aztec can do it. We didn't feel like that was going to be an issue, but on, as we descended into and landed at Boone, we got a little bit of a crosswind kick, and I was running the rudder pedal a little bit too aggressively, and managed to lock up the brakes, and had a little skid on our on both of our tires actually, but a more substantial skid on our left tire, left main. And for the first time in my life, we had a flat spot that was on the tire and exposed some of the ply cords. So we were fortunate enough to have a mechanic at Boone, Bob. Thank you, Bob, very much. But Bob was able to get our tire switched out within a 12-hour period. Kelly and I drove down with the kids to Ames to pick up the tire that would fit the Aztec, and you know, really the AirVenture Cup Race and the rest of our trip was saved by having availability of both the tire and a mechanic. So anyway, we're grateful to everyone for getting that tire fixed up for us. It wasn't a huge incident. You know, we certainly didn't blow out a tire or anything, but I did run those brakes a little bit too hard and locked them up briefly. So anyway, you know, our tail cam was working. So once we got back to the hotel last night, we did a little post-flight briefing, me and myself, and I me and myself watched that video of what I did there, you know, probably 15 times to see what was really going on. I think our, you know, prior to landing, altitude, speed, directional control were pretty good. You can see where the wind started to affect the plane a little bit, even though the rudder's not showing in the video. You can tell when I apply a little bit too much rudder, a little bit too much brakes, and lock them up. You can see the smoke, and although it wasn't a long area of a skid, it was long enough to damage the tire. So
yeah.
Anyway, lessons to take away from that. You know, if you're doing short field operations, make sure you don't jump on the brakes too hard. That's the obvious one. Make sure your speed's on point. I did have my speed on point for 2 notches of flaps, which is what I will normally land at. And in this case, with the you know, the bumps and the gusts, I elected not to put in my 3rd notch of flaps, which is you know, this Aztec being equipped with a STOL kit. I think as I reflect back on that, I would have been better served if I had dropped my approach speed, shortened my landing distance, and put in that 3rd notch of flaps to just really make sure we were slow when we touched down, just deal with the gust and the bumps. I always could have gone around if we got hit with a, you know, a big enough crosswind at landing, and that would not have damaged the tire, would have had some additional landing distance available. And I think if I was doing the same situation again, I'm going to use 3 notches of flaps. I'm going to take advantage of the STOL kit we're equipped, and I'm just going to be cautious not to have my feet too high on the rudder pedals and not lock up the brakes. And you know, so there it is. If you've got other pieces of advice, I hope that anybody else in a similar situation can learn from what we did there. I generally try to do a good job to fly this plane correctly, but locking up the brakes was not my finest moment, and if other people have advice, then feel free to add it to the comments. But big takeaways: use the stall kit, don't jump on the brakes too hard, maintain directional control, and I think if I had just come in with a slower approach speed, we would have been better served.
So we got on the ground safely.
Yep, on the ground safely.
The airplane itself is not damaged.
Waterloo approach, 118.
And we just needed a new tire.
118,
yep.
That's all right.
Whiskey, good day.
Yep. We are on the ground safely, no bent metal, never left the runway, either to the side or to the front. We didn't blow out the tire, nobody got hurt, plane didn't get damaged, just had to switch out a tire.
And maybe this, in the future, will prevent us from having a bigger problem at another time, because we have had this experience.
Yeah, no, it will, and that's, you know, that's why I'm willing to share it as well. Hopefully somebody else can avoid the same problem, just learning from the video that we're willing to post. You know, that's the idea. At the end of the day, I'm a 530-hour pilot with 350-ish hours in this plane, but I don't do this for a living. You know, I maintain my proficiency, I continue to work with flight instructors and make sure it's as well as I can fly this plane, but every once in a while, you know, 500 hours is not that much, and I'm doing the best I can to keep everything safe.
59 Lima, contact Minneapolis.
For the other pilots out there, the last thing that we want to do is scare anybody away from flying. We want to see more people out there flying, enjoying this hobby. The goal of our YouTube channel is to get more people flying, more people doing this with their family, out having fun. So, you know, there are, if you're going to do it, just as with any, you know, difficult hobby, you're going to take your licks. So yesterday I was, you know, humbled a little bit, and that's okay. We're back in the air, we're back doing what we like to do, everything's fine. But today we are up to Wausau, which is where the AirVenture Cup is held, so we are assuming everything is fine when we land and we pass the inspection. We should be good for our race tomorrow, and that's one of my favorite things to do every year. We had a great time last year with Jack, and it's Shelby's turn to be co-pilot this time.
It is.
So we got about an hour and 2 minutes in our flight up to Wausau. We're going to land, get the plane cleaned up, get the inspection done, and try to get all teed up for our briefing tonight and race tomorrow.
Unload all of it, all of our bags for the last week that we've been traveling with, so the plane will be lighter, so you could go faster.
And then the day after the race, we're going to head over to Oshkosh, and Monday will be our Oshkosh day.
Yep.
2441 Mike, change to my frequency 118.85.
118.85 forward Mike. Aztec 2441 Mike on frequency.
Aztec 2441 Mike, roger, thank you. Decorah altimeters 2996.
2996 forward Mike. Welcome to Wisconsin. Minneapolis Center, Aztec 2441 Mike, just advising we're initiating a VFR descent to Wausau.
November 2441 Mike, roger, thank you.
I'm going to bring it in a little bit slow.
Just to make sure that tire's doing all right.
So if you chain parts on a plane, the most likely thing that's going to have a problem is the thing that got messed with. The new tire has a tube. The wheels got to get disassembled, reassembled. If there's a slow air leak and it was fine when we were taking off, it's not necessarily fine when we land.
November
so I'm going to treat that tire as if it could be flat. We're going to go in a little bit slower than usual, just to make sure we don't have any issues with it. Minneapolis Center, Aztec 2441 Mike with Wausau in sight.
41 Mike, roger. There's traffic landing, runway 35 Central Wisconsin, east 10 south of CRJ. Remain clear to cross Delta airspace unless you call Seaway Tower. Radar service is terminated, squawk VFR, and actually one more piece of traffic before I let you go is at 2 o'clock, kind of about 10 miles northbound, VFR 5000, type unknown. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Have a good day.
We'll be looking for traffic, squawk VFR, frequency change approved, and will remain clear of Class Delta airspace. Forward Mike. Wausau traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike is 10 miles to the southwest, inbound for full stop, runway 31. We're going to enter on a left downwind. Wausau. Wausau traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike, turning left downwind, runway 31, Wausau.
There's a plane down there.
Wausau, race 22 is final 31 Wausau.
Yep. Wausau traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike is left base, runway 31, Wausau.
Wausau traffic, blue and yellow biplane 50 Delta Charlie's left downwind, runway 31, Wausau.
Wausau traffic, race 22 is rolling out for the end.
Till the runway is clear. Wausau traffic, RV 1982 Delta, 4 west, inbound 31, Wausau.
Aztec at Wausau, we're going to have a guy out there to park you out. We're going to put you on the east end, southeast end of the apron.
We'll plan southeast end of apron, 41 Mike. Wausau traffic, Aztec 2441 Mike, clear, 31.
It sounded a lot better than yesterday.
Oh, thanks. A lot better than Screech.
Yeah, there was a lot. It was a lot better, to be honest.
You guys really know how to make me feel special.
But
You did a really good job.
So Double Dog there, welcome back. You'll see a guy in a black shirt way up on the apron up there. We'll park you.
Looking for him.
All right, we made it.
We hope you join us next time when AJ and Shelby race in the AirVenture Cup Race.